Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the respected dignitaries, distinguished speakers, honorable participants, and the loving audience, all beautiful people present here from all around the globe. I, Ms. Nada Ratkovic, IAU, co-founder of Europe, the president of Research Center, country director Croatia, IAU board member, welcome you all to the research storytelling session on topic storytelling as research, research as storytelling. Select, develop, figure, understand, ask, remember. Learn the art of storytelling to tell research stories. What a wonderful day! I'm so happy. I'm so lucky today. You will see after the introduction of organizer. International Internship University is a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. IIU is metamorphosing the conventional education system by cutting down the additional costs and providing access to more than 1,000 plus courses, internships, e-learners across the globe. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries, 6 continents, under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, Sir, a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. The sky is the limit for his dedication and hard work. Let me introduce the IIU Research Center. IIU Research Center is a unique hub. It is giving an opportunity to researchers, authors, educators, students, scholars across the globe and enhances the research opportunities, academic excellence, real-world problem solving, knowledge creation, and dissemination. The high caliber global educators team is dedicated to all do that. At
Mm,
IIU Research Center, research is a systematic investigation and always begins where we want to develop something new, contribute to knowledge in our education as the best and the reliable way to understand and act of the complexities of various issues that education are facing. Me, Professor Nada Ratkovic, as a president of IIU Research Center, thinks if you have ever thought about how would be the world without education, research, science, innovation, technology, or any development of anything, then the IIU and IIU Research Center are the place for you. So today, the recent trends toward research storytelling is very important to make and research finding out what is known, what is not, and what we can develop further. So the role of storytelling is very vital and it is supporting the existence in science, research, technology, innovation, and all studies. Yes, we know our lives are filled with storytelling. And you know, researchers by heart always know and have a special story. So today, let's learn with us. Let's learn the art of storytelling to tell the research stories. So select, develop, figure, understand, ask, and remember. Select a story, develop your story, figure out the structure, understand how you have changed it by the end. Today, we are acquiring here a knowledge of future education and research. Meet today my great, prominent, estimate researcher and educator. I will first tell one word so you will know from where he is coming. Mabuhay! Mabuhay to the Philippines. Yes, and today, my great researcher, educator, Dr. Leoncio Calderon II from the Philippines. So he just come from Vietnam. He was one of the awardees. He and his beautiful lady, Dr. Rizalina, they come from Vietnam and now with us at IIU Research Center. I'm really honored and grateful. And yes, I love the Philippines. I love the Philippines because the Philippines is known for having the abundance. They have great educators, great researchers. They have beautiful beaches. They have delicious fruit. What the Philippines has, they have more than 7,000 islands. And it is really fascinating. That is a phenomena that more than 500 islands don't have a name. Yes, we have today an outstanding global educator and research, Dr. Leoncio Calderon, or Sir Noli. He is a university professor of the Philippines, own law graduate, and has 2 doctorates. He is one of the architects of proactive, flexible, and relevant education at the St. Mark Integrated School, where he is serving as a vice principal. Last year alone, he received his mentorship certificate, Best Global Educator from IIU, Most Inspiring Man Award from Golden Book of the Earth, Outstanding Filipino Servant Leader from the St. James University, Pennsylvania, United States of America. He's a licensed real estate broker and appraiser. And as I said, he is a great educator, great researcher. And not only that, he's an amazing and great husband. He's a great husband, and a family for him is always a cent and on the first place. So, welcome, great Sir Noli. I will call him Sir Noli, Dr. Noli, because he is famous for that, and I'm really honored. Let me put you here on the camera so our audience can see you. Mabuhay, mabuhay from Croatia. At me in Croatia, how we say zdravo, dobrodošli, welcome. So, mabuhay.
Mabuhay, Professor Nada. When you say your Croatian word for that is it sounds delicious. It probably delicious as well. So send me something delicious here in our country.
Yes, yes. As I see, so I said Philippines and Croatia, so many similar things. Like we have also so many islands, so many great educators, so many great researchers. We have the similar culture, also can say religion. So very, very close we are. Even I can say at the other part and the other side of the world are the Philippines.
Yes,
So,
but
Denoli,
you're only 4 million, I believe, and we're about 112 million. So we are a big country as well.
yes, we before have 4 million people. Now we are so our people no new, I can say no we don't have many born children. So the demographic situation in structure in Croatia is a little problem. And also we are a part of European Union, but our youth is going to the other countries to live, to find better conditions, to better
Employment, yeah.
for the life. So it is not like before. Now they really are moving. They are moving and changing the works and a lot. So I hope that it will be better. We need to be optimists, always
Yes,
optimistic for everything.
that's correct. Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Okay, but you almost you almost reached the top of the World Cup, placing third. So congratulations as well to Croatia.
Yes, we are famous. Our clubs, sport clubs, we great, great. Yes, we are so small, but we are so strong. That is
Yes.
that is a motto I can say from us. So, Dr. Nolly, I'm really happy that you are today with me. I have, dear audience, a very, very special guest today, a special person, as I already say, but you will have opportunity now to ask and to know him and to get the answer. Why is he so special? So let's start with the questions. I have so many questions to ask you. First, my question is, what, who is your main source of fulfillment as an educator?
I have this school named St. Mark Integrated School Incorporated in the Philippines. These wonderful students learning with such commitment and dedication and doing everything it takes to perform as should be. And coming out of these young students struggling with their lessons, I'm not laughing at the way they're struggling, but it's always a struggle, even for us teachers, to teach them. I believe it is enough fulfillment to see my students doing their best with the families and parents, enthusiastically supporting them through at school and inter-school competitions, wins and defeats through thick and thin. To see our students learn and apply what they have learned are an accomplishment by itself. My students are my source of challenge, redemption, and fulfillment.
Great, very, very interesting. Yes, I'm sure that your students are adoring you because you are a person who have really a sense of feeling for them and also with a lot of knowledge that you are sharing to your students. Great, wonderful. Uh, Let me ask you something other. What do you think are your exemplary habits, attitudes, and teaching practices which make you outstanding? I said before, outstanding educator. How are you an outstanding educator? How you get that? What are the habits for what?
Uh, my mother, Irene, reminded me to live up to my name. So, Leoncio Mendoza Calderon, I really love acronyms, using acronyms so I can remember easily. So I also teach acronyms as mnemonic devices to my students and to my children. So if I'm going to use my initials, Leoncio Mendoza Calderon, LMC. So what comes to mind, L is for leadership. So
Yes.
servant leadership remains as one of the most effective models of leadership today. School principals who embody this type of leadership paradigm encourage and enable teachers and demonstrate a desire to build school community. Teachers' effectiveness enable teachers and demonstrate a desire to also as well as they are honored and served by their principal, thereby impacting students, colleagues, and parents positively. Servant leaders often put the needs of the organization ahead of personal needs and honor people, not programs and politics. Students ultimately benefit from the leadership approach as their teachers learn to serve them first as people and then confidently lead them into their learning. The principal role of leadership is vital for a school's progress. M, what can I say for M? So leadership for Leoncio, Mendoza, M for mastery. Since a teacher should know best what it takes to teach a student to learn well individually, M is also for mission, to plan ahead and to take steps to reach a particular goal. My mission is to teach my students the knowledge it takes to learn and apply what they have learned. Math, which is also a favorite subject, is a language everybody relates to, regardless how one denies it. Many students of mine hate math. When you ask them, they also have math in their birthdays. Diba? When you say, math, what is your math? So you don't really hate math because it is your birthday. You have to remember there's always math when you relate yourself to your particular birthday. Music, which is closest to me, is also a universal language that conveys appreciation and relaxation. Professor Nada, what is there to when you're stressed out? So what's best? Is it on binge eating or trying to relax with music, hearing beautiful music?
Yes, I agree. I agree. Listening music, and especially when we know that you have so many beaches, islands, go to the island. If it is possible to go to the island where there is nobody. So relaxing and for the
Relaxing.
mental health and for all. Yes,
That's
it
why
is
you
really.
come. Yeah, come to us. We have relaxing beaches here, and
Mhm.
you also hear beautiful music. When you try to pay up money, then that's also beautiful music to our locals here. So you
So,
bring your
Dr. Nolly, if you like
yes,
music, do you like to sing?
yes.
So,
Probably I will sing later if you have
oh,
time.
great, great.
So, so let me continue. So I love both math and music, like rhyme and rhythm, like fish and rice. Hope you send me some later after this interview, Doc Nada. So C, Calderon for my surname. C is for commitment to a cause that gives worthwhile opportunities and experiences that can transform individuals' voices to a unified, united, and creative voices called simply a choir. Punctuality, discipline, a sense of awareness, humor. I like humor really, and most especially love for the subjects. For me, math and music are necessary traits to commitment. I often tell my students that another word for sacrifice is love. Just like our Holy Week now, since we're both Christians and Catholics, when we say sacrifice, it's painful. But when it is healthy to say, I learned to love math, rather than I sacrifice to learn math. When my students see those qualities in me, they also acquire those traits in varying degrees.
Mm. So that acronyms, that is great how you explained that for us. And uh, you gave me one question more. So, Dr. Noe, I think that how are you remembering the things? I think that this is also one learning method, great method.
Remembering, for example, you when you look at people around you or even your students, you always associate things so you can easily learn it. So, for example, when you're going to memorize or, for example, math, when you try to combine math with music, for example, 40, 4, 1, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 1. Actually, you're chunking things. For example, if you're going to put a cell phone, you're trying to remember a cell phone number. If you're going to separate with a hyphen, you'll be easily remembering 11 particular numbers. So you're going to chunk numbers. For example, my cell phone number, 0945, and then I'm going to replace it hyphen 897 hyphen 0724. Rather than trying to repeat all the numbers in sequence, you have to separate them for you to remember it. Just like when you try to remember the value of pi, 3.14, 1416, right? So there's
Yeah.
no end to that number pi. So you have to put something behind that so you can remember. So the one thing that I should not fail to remember is the birthday of my wife, because she's going uh to kill me if I don't remember even our wedding anniversary. That's why we have to say to connect something to relate that so you won't forget.
Great. Wonderful method. Yes, wonderful method. I'm sure that our audience also like that. Dr. Nolly, what make you choose what make you to choose teaching as a career, as a vocation? So, what make you stay with the teaching profession all these years? Do you ever think about something other?
Yes, in spite of my parents' misgivings, I chose education since there are two reasons for it. So when you go into teaching, the wages and salaries are meager. It's just compared to the more ambitious or more recognized professions like being a doctor, being an engineer. So I have two reasons for it. First, teaching is a challenge. I like a challenge. So it's literally physical in my younger years. My grade 4 social science teacher, social science is araling panlipunan in our language, scolded me for being sleepy in class. She hit me with a bamboo stick on the arm. I don't know if you're allowed corporal punishment in your younger years, but it was normal back then in the 70s. The humiliation was more painful than the hit. But I remember saying in front of her, I will become a better teacher than you. So initially, the desire to study well was an act of revenge, an act of vengeance. A desire to show everyone that I could be better. I did. Later in college, I softened a little bit and learned to forgive the past. Since I became better, not only as a student, but also as a person. I forgave, but did not forget about the past. Second, teaching was the noblest of all the professions, they say. It make it doesn't cost much at the University of the Philippines, considered to be the best premier university for teachers. Uh, but my wife, Dr. Richelina, coming from Philippine National University, would think otherwise. I remembered paying only 500 pesos, which is about $20, 20 US dollars then in the 1980s. This was quite cheap. Probably the least of all reasons was the main consideration. It's better to go to teach to education rather than in other professions because it's cheaper that way. After accepting my fate then, I took the challenge and started to see my potentials in education. I focused my energy in learning to love my vocation. The psychological rewards of accomplishments complemented a teacher's bigger earnings. The awards and accolades later I personally or jointly received from competitions and recognitions motivated me to become better and strove on. Eventually, wages and earnings became sufficient enough to support a modest life for me, my wife, Dr. Risa, and my children, who also share my passion for education. My son Dominic, now the assistant principal of our school, help us out. That is why we can depend on him with school decisions and responsibilities. And another favorable reason why I and Doc Risa have time traveling around. While my
Oh,
children,
so great. Wonderful husband give a wife to travel around the world.
yes,
Wonderful.
and while my
And
children
now you are traveling with her. I see now you
yes,
are.
yes, and my children and dependable staff and teachers take care of the school in our absence. Come, come to think of it, Nada, Professor Nada. Sorry if I'm being casual. If a farmer can live off the land, so I can. A song can inspire a music teacher to be an inspiration, not only to student farmers, but to all other professions.
So still very inspirative and motivated. So how your students will not love you and also your family because I see you are full of love for your family, for your son Dominic, for your beautiful wife. Our Dr. Noli has, I can say, one of the most beautiful ladies. You are really lucky. You are really lucky. She is so beautiful.
Yes, I hope the feeling also, well, if you go to ask if I'm lucky to her.
Yes, yes, you are. I see. I want to say something. This situation with COVID, even we never meet in our lives. So many. I can say that Dr. Nolly, his wife, I feel them very close to me, really, because when people share love, that is the most positive thing you can give. And you feel that love when they share the love. So, Dr. Nolly, you and your wife, I really can say you are inspiration. Like when we talk about not only about education, relationships, I'm sure that we have so many sessions and then I would also like to invite you two together to talk about the relationship because that is very important. For few days we are celebrating World Health Day. So now I'm inviting you two both on that day, and I'm expecting a message because I know that that will really have a big sense to all.
Yes,
Okay,
how can I,
I
how,
move.
yes, Doc Nada, how can I refuse when you already broadcasted to the whole world that I be invited without actually confirming my invitation? I have to accept.
You don't need to say me nada. I I am expecting you and your wife at that
Yes, we'll be
day.
there. It's
So
an honor. It will be an honor. It will be an
yes,
honor.
thank you. Thank you. Great story. I said great story. So Let us continue. So great, Dr. Nolik. Can you recall some interesting anecdotes about your experience as a teacher?
Well, I
Some
can think of,
interesting.
yes.
I'm sure that you not have some million.
Not millions. I don't have millions of students. Around probably 7,000 students under my care. since I started teaching 30 something years ago. I remember when I was a student teacher way back 1986. When I was teaching, when I taught there in a public school as a student teacher, I saw one particular student wearing sunglasses. And I told him not to wear sunglasses anymore since it is against school regulations not to show your eyes in class. He did that in the next several days. Then I admonished him and told him to go to the principal's office. Then my supervising teacher, Ma'am Herminia, told me that the student is allowed to wear glasses, was allowed to wear glasses since he worked as a dishwasher at night. So imagine he went to school doing his education while working at night as a dishwasher. Then I belatedly saw his hands so white, our skin brown, but his hands were white with detergent. So I cried uh, in my solitude that I should not have judged the student. Later on, after my student teaching, I don't know where he went or what became of him, but it was a lesson for me for humility, that I should empathize or see myself in the shoe of my student. So, so wherever he is now, I'm sorry if I misjudge him. But I already told him, I apologize to him, but the picture of me scolding him is just like relating myself of my teacher scolding me when I was sleeping class in my fourth grade. So I was sorry. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I'm still sorry about that incident. It was really a life-changing anecdote that I will carry on, and it has taught me to become a better person.
Don't think about that. You are a great person. You are a great person, but sometimes in our career we need to go through some kind of things like that. So we are going. We grow. Then we think. Then we have bigger sense for everything. Because today we are really our students. We need to take care about the well-being. That is, they are under stress, depression, so many problems. So that is something I think that all our educators really need to have that, to need to take care about things, because every day is so unique, so special. Even somebody say, oh, you are doing every day the same things. That is not true. My every day is different. And also the lesson, I think that I never make the same lesson on the same way. So that is why we choose education, and that is our mission and vision to every day to try to be better. And that time, that things what happen, sometimes we have students, they don't think what I say, but we need to have a good control. We need to have a good control, and that is a thing that can that is the thing what we really need to think, giving knowledge and giving ourselves. And I'm sure that you also, Dr. Noli, is that kind of person, and I'm sure that you also come sometimes home and think about that. Is the mark you gave the mark, is that the mark the students need to get? Did I do this? What did I need to do this on the better way? Did I explain that? Did my students remember, understand me? So that is a challenge. I say that educator, to be an educator in our profession is a big challenge,
Yeah,
really,
that's true.
really a big things. Dr. Nolly, you already little talk about leadership, but I want you to explain the servant leadership further. about your server leadership further.
In order for a principal to operate as a servant leader and increase teacher effectiveness, he or she must not only personify the characteristics of servant leaders, but also model the way to enable teachers to act, encourage teachers' hearts, and communicate a larger vision to pursue. Servant leaders are what they say and do, and they transform the followers by modeling what they desire to see and hear from them. Therefore, teachers will increase in self-efficacy as principals employ consistent and vivid experiences of modeling behavior that builds trust and reinforces the verbal commitment that the principal express to serve teachers. Part of a principal's role is to make teachers the best that they can be. And this partially occurs by enabling them with personal and professional development, the freedom to take risk. So by coincidence, Professor Nada, when I was in the gym, because Dr. Risa told me to slim a little bit to gain weight loss, I bought a shirt. I forgot to bring my shirt to the gym, so I have to change clothes. I bought in the mall a shirt. And it so happened that the shirt's slogan is take some risk.
Yes.
Take some risk. So considering how you pronounce my wife's name, Risa, is also Risa. So taking a wife with the name Risa is also a risk. So it sounds like her. Hopefully, she won't hear about this. Risa. Okay, so going back, where was I? And opportunities to fully.
But Dr. Nolly, without risk and without your Risa,
Yes,
there will be no profit. Without risk, no profit, and without Risa, no life. I think that you cannot imagine your life without your beautiful Risa. So,
yes, yes,
yes,
that's true. That's true. And where will my clothes be if not for my wife? Oh, anyway.
I think
Okay.
this is for a big clap.
Okay. So going back to servant leadership. So teachers become effective and caring leaders as they are enabled by principals who serve, develop, and empower them. As principals set effective examples and teachers are provided with what they need to excel in their roles, both will be enabled to collaboratively meet the shared purposes of the school. I believe the best method for me as a servant leader to model the way for teachers is by consistently demonstrating love, honor, and respect in the way that I interact with the teachers, students, parents, and any other person that enters the school. That does not imply that I I I flatter people or put on a fake smile or avoid people with whom I have experienced conflict. Sometimes it's hard to actually to deal with uh, with difficult people. It does imply, however, that people never lose that intrinsic value, whatever age, race, background, socioeconomic status, or religion that they are associated with. People are still important to me because I believe each one is created by a living and loving God who loves all people the same. My ability to lead is based on my ability to follow. Therefore, as I seek to follow Catholic's view of Jesus Christ, which we share, and model his values and heart with many different types of people, I trust that the teachers and staff will be inspired and empowered to follow my example as they interact with different people at school. A principal who is committed to a larger vision will continually encourage teachers to persevere, be positive, retain core values, and strive to meet the school's short-term goals that will eventually lead to developing the vision into reality. A principal who believes that they can make a difference is able to envision the future, creating images of what the organization can become. The leader's excitement and enthusiasm enlist others to join the leader in his or her vision. Embrace personal sacrifice and work hard to see to it to come to fruition. A servant leader also recruit others by caring deeply for the people that they are leading. And the principal used to need to perpetually invest into relationships, as you said earlier, Doc Nada, with teachers to demonstrate care and respect in order to maintain moral and respectful environments and encourage teachers' hearts. Leadership will always reflect personal character, values, desires, and relational strengths and weaknesses, but then must translate into mobilizing people to share the struggles of ambition toward the larger vision. In a nutshell, Professor Nada and our viewers in the larger audience, when we talk about leadership, it's not being the best, but making everyone better. So leadership is not being the best person, but making all around us better.
Wonderful. Yes. So, great Dr. Leoncio, Dr. Noli, who is the best teacher for you? Who? Like example, you are principal, so that leadership skills you have. So, who is the best? Please describe an ideal teacher for you.
Ideal teacher. An ideal teacher is an educator who can motivate himself to inspire others to become better in both good or bad times, in wins or defeats, through thick and thin. He looks ahead above the struggles and has that positive outlook in life. He looks back to build on the strengths, remedies the weaknesses, and accepts the challenges that get along the way. He may be flexible and humorous as we are, consistent and exemplary, uh, creative, patient and persistent, transparent and temperate, transformative, as you had your speech then. I believe that was December. Selfless and supportive, exacting, well-meaning, and well-principled. He can be a history teacher or an art critic, relating current music or art trends to the past. A math mentor that gives equivalence to notes, beats, and time signature, making sure that the sum of all voices is equivalent to what is written on the score, math-wise, and delivered as a choir, beautiful music, music-wise. Perhaps a science teacher that experiments on tonal, tonal quality, fusing elements of world music and Filipino folk, not afraid to express music that he thinks fit. An English teacher that gives more credence to the intended message over the interruption of writing the correct grammatical. Sometimes in our younger years, our teachers focus more on our mistakes rather than our gains. Is that what happened to you also when you were young, Doc Nada? Okay, so it gives tune to poems and odes to give life to our unspoken heroes. The relevance of social studies is evident to current history touching the hearts of our youth. History is important not only to our youth but also to adults or the masses who did not remember what happened to our martial law years, and they bring back again the martial law years with the son that is also the I cannot say more about politics, but I'm really actually affected with coming a president being a son of a dictator. So kidding serious aside, that happens when history repeats itself. He educates us. The ideal teacher educates us to see the spirit and signs of the times. Probably the message of the song is more important than the lyrics. Moreover, an ideal teacher sees the student as a child with emotions and feelings. A values teacher or a guidance counselor whose empathy we may truly treasure, whose values we may likewise cherish. We need someone to look up to. I need to reach that note to make sure that I follow the song. The idea is to integrate the subject ideas to develop a holistic approach to learning, to develop a whole person, to develop that student to become a whole holistic person who can apply what he learned to real life situations. The idea is to be ideal. The ideal teacher is not just an idea to me. We should strive to make ourselves better than before.
Wow, great. So wonderful. Dr. Nolly, you already gave me a little part of my next question, but tell me please, how do you think that you will be remembered as an educator, as a professor, as a teacher? So, how do you think about it? Did you think about that?
Mm. I'm pushing 60, but I hope I live a long life. So as if you're
Yes,
teaching.
God bless you. God bless you.
So I was teaching, is this a eulogy or what is my writing on my epitaph if I die? So if I listen to those people around me, if I die, what will they remember me by? No, but it's actually a good question. If I may, so I care for my students. I love math and music, history and humor. I hope my students remember me for my dedication to make them care, if not love for learning. They will see reason over my repeated drills or my continuous rehearsals. They will later appreciate that learning math or music is not only about problem solving or a body of notes, but a soul of expression. They will somehow forgive me, and I'm asking their forgiveness of my flaws, just like what I did during my student teaching year of the student that I admonished for wearing sunglasses way back then, and value my strengths. They will figure out the passion over the unintended perceived slights. They will accept discipline and discernment over discordant voices and diverse opinions. To recognize that I was somehow instrumental to an individual's growth in whatever aspect is a feather in my cap. To comprehend the nature of learning is not as complex as a student formerly believed. And being able to apply what he has learned in real life is another gem I shall treasure. If they be able to learn the lessons in life and apply them and they will succeed, then that is actually my accomplishment, my fulfillment. The trophies, awards, and plaques will fade and rust in time. But when my students will bring up memories, they will refresh my aging faculties on how we had won them through hard work and teamwork. Worthwhile experiences became unforgettable lifelong memories. A Facebook comment on a school event, a note of thanks, a simple smile, or the equivalent appreciation will lift my spirits, even though my feet are firmly planted in the ground. Hopefully, I'm not under the ground, Professor Nada. Should, should a student realize my contribution is worth remembering, then that is my fulfillment. A simple, sir, salamat po in our language. In English, thank you is enough.
And Croatia, hvala.
Koala.
Hvala. Yes. Hvala,
Yes,
Dr. Noli.
yes. It sounds like an animal, koala.
But it's not an animal. It is thank you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
koala.
Yes. Great. Great. Yes, I'm sure that you will really be remembered by many, many things, like an educator, principal, like a great person. That's it. When we are thinking about that, I always say first to be a great person, a person with a pure heart, pure soul. That is very important. So I'm sure that your students, your colleagues, your family, relatives, your whole environment, not only in the Philippines, around the globe, because you really give a big contribution to everything. So now when I'm coming from one to another question. So like a great educator, researcher, Dr. Nolly, do you think that you could bring a contribution to the nation building? How can you contribute to the nation building in the Philippines?
So, so I'm not speaking for myself because it will be self-serving. So
Okay.
each
Like,
citizen, yes, I'm sorry to
I
interrupt
think
you.
like an educator. How do you think like an educator you could contribute to the nation building?
Uh, Nation building starts from the individual self. How one relates to the inner circle of friends, family, and associates depends on one's attitude, trait, and personality. Math and music, since they are my favorite subjects, are not just learning how to understand operations or singing in the group. My students will learn love for country, from shoddy government economics, uh, and folk and nationalistic songs, love for God, forgiveness, from religious songs, patience and dedication, to details by understanding complex math problems, songs and current events from popular music. Don't get confused when to the larger audience listening in, when I mix descriptions of two subjects that could actually be integrated in the classroom in real life. Messages from songs that are close to their hearts may bear future action as they grow older, more responsible, and more responsive. The class or choir fosters friendship, social awareness, dependability, adaptability, flexibility, and punctuality. There are so many interrelated qualities and attitudes that are enhanced and positively acquired by the students in the class or choir. They in turn may adopt these qualities in real life situations, big and small, as they mature. Should they become successful in their respective fields, they may influence certain people, make policy, implement actions that can affect society directly and indirectly. They shall act according to their knowledge and fundamental qualities that they have been nourished. Hopefully, they will also act according to their conscience, according what our Lord Jesus Christ command them to do, without them fully aware of from their time as students or choir members under my care.
Wow. So many messages you have, our great Dr. Nolly. Your school is proud on you. You need to check after little the comments. We are really proud on you because I think that the nation building is really starting from us, the educators. We are educating all our personalities, politicians, everyone. So from us to other fields, people, students, everybody is going. So I can say that we need to have uh not I will not say the doctor, the medicine or something, but we also gave that knowledge to the doctors. So we are the first in the nation building. I'm sure that it is, and it needs to be like that.
Both
Uh,
Nada, both
yeah,
Professor Nada as president for Croatia. So it's time
wow,
actually for teachers.
you know, we have before our president now, we have a woman. And I'm sure, Dr. Noy, that you see her? She was a beautiful lady also.
Just like you.
Thank you. Our Colinda was president, and yes, she was a good president. So I think that really that woman needs to be, if we talk about more in the politics. You know, I don't like politics really. I never involve myself in politics, but I'm working a lot on empowering women, for social worker, humanitarian worker, so many of them. But I don't like politics. Politics, I move from my side because I think that I don't, yes, your voice need to be heard. Our voice need to be heard,
Yeah.
but I don't, so many, we have different things. So I don't have time for that, really. Don't have time for politics, and I never think about that to take a career in the politics or something that. But it is true that today in my country and many European countries, to get a great job, you really need to be involved in politics. That is sad. That is sad.
Yes,
Yes, that is sad. So I'm still one of the person that think that your knowledge and your capabilities and you can make you growth. From my experience until now, I never tried to. I do all by myself, and I will continue. And I said that it is really possible. And also, I know so many people who are struggling, fighting. Like our great Dr. Nolly and many audience. So we don't need that. We don't need that. If we have, I can say there are many things that we can do and we can contribute to our nation building, even we are not involved in the politics.
and Professor Nada, you need time for sleep, vacation, and decent time for eating.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, for vacation and for eating. Great. Let me see. What are some personal circumstances or trivia people might be interested to know about you? For example, stories of your struggles, family background. We know that you have a big family support.
What can I say? I am wide-bodied, wide reader, wide thinker, widely humorous, widely supposed to be widely than wide. So a Facebook user and abuser, a multi-instrumentalist musician. I play the piano, I play drums, I play guitar, I play some flute. So I play many things. So I play like a clown sometimes to my wife. I sing a lot. I'm a devoted family man and husband. It's so that I believe it came from you without you knowing me personally. An amateur chess player, a better than average cook. Ask my dogs. They will say that I'm a good cook. I love nature. I'm a tree hugger. I usually hug my wife even in public. A poor mechanic. A sports fan that seldom play. I like sports, but I don't play sports. I sell real estate. I hate smoking, Professor Nada. I really hate smoking, but I love smoked fish and barbecue.
Oh.
I hope you can also cook cook barbecue if I visit you there. I love acronyms and mnemonic device, as you can see. I
Yes.
joke about food being sent to me. That's why I will still wait for your food, Doc Nada. I
Okay.
laugh
I
out
promise.
first. Yes. I laugh out first before the punchline is yet to be delivered. I remember when I was young, my mother told me that I always laugh first, even if the punchline is yet to be delivered. I was the first to react always when I was a small child.
Yeah.
The serious side of the struggle. Now I'm becoming serious, even though I'm not that serious. I struggle a lot in my primary grades. I attended remedial classes for 3 subjects in my second grade. My parents were not around to teach me, just to earn a living as low salaried government employees. I counted no less than 10 transfers because we just rent one house to another, going around Metro Manila, the size of Singapore, before we settle in a place of our own in my fifth grade. The private school I had, we had well-off classmates who tease me often and at times bullied me. When I overheard my father in my fourth grade the plan to transfer me and my siblings to public school, my mother objected. That was when I realized I had to study well. I had wonderful teachers, Professor Nada. I still remember them by name. Ma'am
Wow.
Mentolia, Ma'am Nadella, Dr. Gaceta, Dr. Yonda, Dr. Portugal, Dr. Lumbera, Ma'am Herminia Sevilla, my student teacher advisor. I will not finish naming them because it will take hours to just thank
Yes.
all my teachers. So if I'm going to name all my teachers, that's about around 215 of them. So I can just name 10, the top 10 teachers from my heart. That's why this is also a reminder to our educators that our students may not vocally say that they thank you well. Remember the psychological rewards that you just think that they that they remember as well.
Great.
Then I also thank them for their care and love. Nowadays, the struggle is to accept our national leaders who have no knowledge of responsibility and accountability. I might be quite frank and brutal at sometimes, Doc Nada. I'm not naughty. I'm being frank sometimes. So I don't like dishonest people or mediocre people.
Yeah.
I might not have many friends. I don't have many friends, but I always get the right ones.
Yeah. That that is important. That is really important because, like example, like a school owner, uh, what do you think? What was the greatest problem? The constraints, challenges, what you faced. How did you solve them? How did you deal with them? Do you have that problem, like that type of contrast of challenges? I'm sure that
Yes.
every problem you solve very easy because you if it is a problem, I think that you mean that is not a problem because you have a great solution.
There were, in fact, there were many challenges such as lack of parental moral support and powers that be roadblocks. When we put up the school, the pessimist views were we couldn't last, we couldn't go that far, the school was a waste of time and resources. We were able to overcome the challenges when we started off with only 7 students in 1995. Would you believe we only have 7 students back then? We competed
How that?
against,
How only? Where were they? How only 7 students?
yes, we started off with nursery. So
Oh,
nursery, so with
oh,
3 or 4 years old. So
okay.
we built up from there. We competed against private schools who were bigger, well established, and financially able. But the ideal teachers in us with me and Ma'am Risa, Dr. Risa, we were unfazed and rallied our school to benchmark with other schools in our district and organization. We had nothing to lose but everything to gain. Our children help us in promoting our school through smart advertising and marketing. Recognitions came and student enrollment went up steadily. The only roadblock is actually fear. So on the only thing that actually uh, uh, stop us from growing is fear. I no longer have fears. I only have hopes that can be a reality.
Yes. Yes. So when you started for yourself and doing, I can say that is some kind of your work, putting the to giving the and pushing the school, your organization, institution on the foot. It was, I think, a hard way, a long way, but see, with the support of children, wife, whole family, and working a lot you get a success and a very successful school. So we are really proud on you. We are really proud on you, Dr. Noli, on the work, how much you are doing and what you are giving for education, for students, for your country, Philippines. So
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. I said at the beginning that Dr. Noli and his beautiful wife, Dr. Isalina, came just from Vietnam. So, what is the meaning of your recent Vietnam International Achievers Award for you, for your family, for your school, and for your community? What is the meaning of that award, international award? I
The
know
Vietnam,
this is one of the awards, but what is the meaning of this? Go from Philippines to Vietnam. I was really jealous. I was jealous. I was monitoring. I was looking at Congress rooms. All it was wonderful, very marvelous, even marvelous celebration. And also, I want to congratulate and thanks to our great Dr. Olea Namo for this award and for the great work she is doing for the Institute of Research of Organization for the. So I need to say that I
yes,
like her
because
very much.
you're also part of that and you were not there. You weren't
Yes,
there.
I was a part of that. I get the award for the most outstanding leadership and educator. But Vietnam is so far from Croatia. I'm working. I couldn't go. But when I see my great Dr. Noli and his wife, Dr. Isalina, I have a feeling that Nada is there. So you need to be happy. So I'm happy
Yes.
because uh you go there, enjoy, get it. So that is a great feeling. So I'm accepting your answer. What it
Okay.
means, what it means, what means award, what is the meaning of the awards?
Any award, including the Vietnam International Achievers Award I jointly received with my wife, Dr. Rizalina, is a recognition of an inner circle of people and relations that made me who and what I am. I am molded by my past personal experiences, family acquired values, school philosophy, and community interactions. I will share this award to my students who made life harder for me in terms of trying my patience. But they eventually rewarded me by making learning and music heaven to my ears. The award is an affirmation of an educator's hard work, dedication, and determination. I also shared this award to a social worker who happens to be my mother, Mrs. Irene M. Calderon. She is my mentor whose forbearance and fortitude,
Mm.
generosity and prudence through all the years of struggle and triumph. I am now my own person, strong and confident, but I cannot deny that my no-nonsense attitude that carried me through life's roadblocks were definitely acquired from her. My personality is forged by constructive, sometimes fiery criticism and pragmatic approach. I shared my mother's belief that there is a God that looks over the poor, the downtrodden, the widowed, the orphan. I owe most of what I am today. Most importantly, I owe my life to her.
Oh, so mother is a role model. Mother is, oh yes, being a mother, and we all know what is the meaning of that. So when somebody asks who is your support, yes, our parents and mother and father and both who gave us all that, who I can say who show us the real way to the success, really. Because how I speak with my students, I always say it is coming from the home. It is coming from the home. So many so many situations, today it is unfortunately that people are working a lot. I can say 24 hours, and sometimes I always say never, your family needs to be on the first place. There is no money who can make we change your family. So think on the family, on the health, and other will come. Other will come. If we talk about money, we never have enough money, but we need to think about our family, especially about the children. So you see, Dr. Nolly, how your great children support you because you were supporting them and showing them the real way, how to be a good person, how to be a great educator, great leader, and to learn all the things in the life. So that is very important. That is always very important. And if somebody say, no, my parents don't help me, I think that that people really don't are not normal because yes, we know that there are so many students and today especially we have so many divorced parents, students who are not living with the family. So there are situations, but here where we have that possibility, we need to take care about that. We really need to take care about. So, Dr. Noli, I'm sure that you can mention us so name of it, students you have personally mentored because you are a mentor for your kids, but you are a mentor for your students. So uh, you a student who you personally mentored, who became today very successful, well known, highly respected, and also self-made like a professional individual.
Uh, mm, in my first year of teaching, before we put up the school, I could mention two. One is a seminarian, so he was in high school then, grade 9. His name is Ian Lomongo. So, so when I was teaching there, I'm teaching math, Filipino, and music. So I was able to integrate. So later on in life, he went into teaching. He's now a professor also at UP, University of the Philippines. As I said, it's the premier university in our countries. So he mentioned that I was one of the major factors he took up teaching and why he became nationalistic and patriotic. So it was really a blessing for me that someone actually considered me as a mentor that actually touched his life and become also one of the known and leading professors now in the University of the Philippines. Another one is also Arman Villanueva. He's now about 30 years old. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He teaches at University of Manila, teaches French, tourism. He's a graduate of tourism, but he can also sing like me. He
Mhm.
handles a choir. University of Manila, they won a major award here, and he also handles a public elementary choir that won in Busan, Korea, way back in 2014. Out of 27 international choirs, including renowned Polish, UK choirs. So they took bronze out of 27. Would you believe there were only 14 children and some of them were not able to come because of financial resources, the
Yes,
limits. But
yes.
the spirit really, the human spirit can soar high, even if we only have the least number of singers than 14 students. And we have from the Polish choir about 50. They were able to actually win third prize way back in 2014. So it's really uh, when you say that when you teach when you have taught resiliency and then with the positive outlook that they can overcome any roadblocks of fears, then there's nothing to stop from being the best they can be. And when we put up the school with Dr. Richelina, I can name one person who actually was financially able, but she's now, I would not mention her name, but she graduated with honors and she's now a licensed physical therapist.
Wonderful,
Yeah, she's
wonderful.
now 24 years old.
That are the results. That is really motivated. So that is also attracting the students here. So that is a great also promotion, and that is a result of your work, and all educators here in the school which are working on that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful. Dr. Noli, uh, maybe we also have, but again, I want to ask, what is your favorite quote on teaching?
I may mention our school's slogan,
Yeah,
St.
okay.
Mark's Integrated School. Each child is capable, competent, and unique. So actually, there's no need to explain that. The second one is because I really like acronyms. So LMC, Leoncio Mendoza Calderon, LMC stands for Learning Must Continue. As we just get from pandemic, so learning must continue. So this makes me an educator along with my devotion to God, my dedication to family, my commitment to education and research, and my duty to my students are keys in making learning great. Competence is equated to mastery of learning. An educator, regardless if it's a choir master or trainer, develops that high level of proficiency and deeper understanding and knowledge to be able to manage tasks. So when we time and time again, I hope some of my teachers here and some of our parents are here listening up through Facebook. When my teachers say, when we say learning is, then they will say all together fun. So in our school, learning is fun. So that's how so the students and the parents will always repeatedly remember that learning is fun, regardless how difficulty learning can be.
Wow, yes, and I agree. Learning is really fun. Without gamification, no learning, but not a lot, a little, but it is really, really a great slogan, a wonderful, wonderful slogan from the school. How could you mention now the youth? How could the youth be encouraged to go into the teaching profession? Why today go to the teaching profession? How could, at example, on the Philippines, your government make the profession more attractive to them? What needs to do? What needs to do to make this profession more attractive?
Uh, we may encourage our youth to go into teaching. However, there are questions to be addressed in terms of attitudes and aptitude needed before one decides to teach. Can he speak in public? Can he explain things to people? Is he good in conveying ideas to others? Is he ready to pay full attention and listen to others? Can others count on him to regularly pay students, complete and assess tasks? Does he like helping students? Can he control his emotions? As you said earlier, we have to actually control our emotions. Not everybody can teach, but to those who can, we invite the youth. The public and private sector should offer better wages, more benefits, different opportunities, and three main education interests, such as instruction, research, and service. The noblest profession must have its correspondent just rewards, as can be seen in Singapore, Japan, and probably in Croatia. If Dr. Nada offers me something, I might accept it. Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, this interview is already enough recognition. It is an honor to be here. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It is my honor to have you here with me and our great audience who are wonderful. I want to thanks to our great audience to being with us from the start, listening, writing, supporting. They are amazing. They are amazing. And I'm sure and not sure I see they are all proud on you, Dr. Noli. All are proud on you and your Philippines and Georgians and Indians and all who are together today with us on this session. Yes, I want to ask you few questions. Now I want to say it is midnight. Dr. Noli, midnight at Philippines, and you are still with us. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Midnight at Philippines, and you are with us in the session. I will now go a little faster because we can be 3 days. We will continue another time, but we didn't finish yet. So, what do you consider as the most pressing educational concern issue today in your country? What have you done or are doing to help address that concern? If there is a concern, I'm sure that there is a concern. So how you are doing, what you are doing, and how are you addressing that?
If we're talking about issues in our country, the K-12 curriculum promised to produce graduates that are employable. The promise remains a promise. The public school system burdens teachers with backbreaking and time-consuming tasks, a system that provides less adequate support and robs them of opportunity to grow professionally. Guidance and less time to teach, assist, and guide our learners. When we talk about promises, so it's about reform. So we just go to how can I help address the problem. So actually, as to most of our graduates, they continue on to college, and they continue on to college, so they're not yet employable in that sense. So in our school, our teachers create a conducive learning environment where knowledge and skill absorption among our students are essential. We integrate learning, as I, for example, integrate math and music with values formation, carefully choosing math problems in varying degrees from easy to difficult. Then they get the principle of solving them, until they get the principle of solving them. So we employ songs that evoke love for country, God, and fellow men. Songs convey messages close to their hearts that may bear conviction or future action. So as they grow older, more responsive and more responsible. I believe that with the advancement of science and technology, there is a great need for me and my teachers to acquire competence in the use of software and media to enhance our teaching skills. We have invested in seminars, graduate studies, and faculty development because it is through them that I can train and develop the minds of our present students and teachers and future leaders. I trust that the teachers and staff will be inspired and empowered to follow our example so they interact with different people in school. A principal who is committed to a larger vision will continually encourage teachers to persevere, be positive, retain core values, and strive to meet the short-term goals that will eventually develop the vision into reality.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, great Dr. Leoncio Noli M. Calderon II. This was really very, I think, no words to describe, to express my gratitude for sharing your story, with us. This wonderful, excellent, awesome, meaningful story. So our great Dr. Nolly select a story, develop a story, figure out the story and the structure today to us. We understand it. So how to tell a story? How to tell a story? Dr. Nolly inspired us today. He inspired us with his time, with his insights, with his thoughts. Everything was amazing. I want to thank also a person behind the success of today's event, who is continuously guiding us, motivating us, putting his in our best, our dear founder of IIU, Sir Pierce, sir. Words are not sufficient to express our gratitude. Also, the words are not sufficient to express our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Nolly for being today with us, me, and great. Dr. Nolly is really great. Dr. Nolly, anything to add before we close our session today?
You mentioned about I thought I said I'm going to sing. So did I make a promise?
Yes, yes, you can sing to us. We are waiting. Our great audience, also our great Dr. Nolly will sing. Yes,
So let me take a sip of water because my throat is
yes,
dry.
of course, of course.
I hope this is coffee or wine, but I'm precluded of not drinking it. I'm going to sing the Saint Mark Integrated Hymn. It also describes our it embodies our core values, what our students should look forward to, and trying to make their experiences with us worth remembering. So I'm going to sing now. Hopefully, I won't forget the lyrics and I'll not be out of tune. So it goes by the Saint Mark hymn. And I mentioned earlier, this the song was composed by my son Dominic. So the
Wow.
lyrics was done by my son Dominic.
Mhm.
And the music by Armand Villanueva, who is also our student I mentioned earlier, the prominent student I mentioned
Big
earlier.
clap for all them.
So in a way, the song is actually uh, uh, a joint effort of our students and our family. So the world goes around. So if we keep that inner circle, it will become our circle of love as well. So the song comes like this. Excellence, compassion, integrity, three values we possess. Hail Saint Mark, we're proud Markians. We come to you if we're apart. You inspire our will to reach our golden goals. Love God, self, and others proudly we proclaim. Your vision in our hearts we shine forevermore. We live in strength and character. We hold our heads up high. Saint Mark, we shall never forget the fruitful years long spent. Saint Mark, in our hearts will stay the memories of you. Thank you.
And St. Mark's will never forget our great Dr. Nolly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really honored, thankful from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to our loving audience, to supporting us, to being with us. Promise we will have again our great Dr. Nolly because I'm sure that already for a few days he's moving new challenges, another country, traveling. He gets a love for traveling from his beautiful wife, Lisalina. We are thankful for your great wife, for her big support, for the support of your family. Also, I want to say for a few days, it is Easter, a very blessed Saint days and Easter, Dr. Nolly, to you, to your family, to all of you. You are all blessed. At Friday, we will see again. I'm waiting for you and your wife. Till our next session, I want to say keep reflecting, learning, collaborating, enjoying, being nice to yourself and to all. And yes, to all. Let's continue growing and learning together. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Mabuhay.
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 And you need to learn do widzenia.
Florideña.
So you learned today. Hvala.
Kuala is welcome. You're welcome.
Do widzenia.
Sovideña. Sovideña.
No.
Okay.
Do widzenia.
Sovideña. Sovideña.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank you. Good night,
much.
everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Bye.